Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Today I want to showcase one of my favorite games I have ever played, I'm not even joking, on Lichess.org. Now this game was against one of my viewers in a Twitch stream, and this is how it went. I have the white pieces and my opponent has the black pieces. I start the game out with d4, he follows with knight to f6, I go for bishop f4, going for a sort of London system, then he goes for d5. I push my pawn up to e3 there, and then he immediately strikes with c5. Now, I can obviously take here. Do I want to do that? Probably not, taking away one of my center pawns for a side pawn here. I decide to just bring my bishop out to d3 here. He brings his knight out to c6, and in this moment, I actually blundered when I moved my knight to c3 here, because I'm actually losing a pawn in this situation. So he decides to take on d4, and then I take back, and then he takes with a knight on d4. And now I'm just down a pawn. I'm just simply down a pawn. However, I found the brilliant tactic. I thought it was brilliant, but I eventually looked back in the in Stockfish and said it could have been stopped, but my opponent luckily didn't see it. I go bishop takes h7. What does this do? This shows an attack on the knight here, and also it wins my pawn back. So say it's something like either rook or knight takes. Say if rook takes on h7 here, knight. The knight can be taken now on d4 by my queen, and I'm in the process of winning back my pawn, which I have, and now where it's even material once again. Now, there was a way for this to be stopped, and actually I would have lost material still if I went here. It was actually sort of risky. All he had to do was actually bring his knight back to e6 here. What would that do? Well, that would put this bishop under attack, and this bishop would also be under attack, and there would be no way for me to save both of them. So, luckily, my opponent didn't see it, and he captures on h7, and I was a little worried on doing this, because this opens up the rook file, you know what I mean? But he also can't castle this way, so it was sort of a give and take here. I finally decide to take on the knight. He pushes up, fixing his pawn structure there. I bring my knight out to f3. He brings his bishop out. We're just developing. And then I castle long. I castle long because I want to get this nice battery going here. Eventually going to move my king over to b1 here, a better optimized square. He moves his queen out. And then I eventually move my knight to a very nice square. B. Oh my gosh, I can't do arrows. There we go. B5. Now I'm attacking the bishop, also threatening this very interesting move here if this bishop ever decides to take. And actually, he did take. He took with check, and I took back with the queen. And now look at this. We have this square covered double, and only the queen's looking at this. So we have a very nice fork that this could possibly happen here. So my opponent thought for a very, very long time here. And finally, he just decided to move the king over. Now, apparently the best move is actually, I believe, to attack my queen and bring the knight out to h5 here. Attacking my queen safe. I decided just to go back here. Just keep attacking. Getting my queen out of here. Safe, even if I went here, push the pawn. Eventually, just getting me off of this line. Not here, by the way. Because this would still win the knight. So say if I went here, pushing the pawn back, and just getting me out of this line, because this is just extremely dangerous for my opponent here. He decides to move his king over, and then I actually still went here, going to attack the rook. But I found an interesting tactic here, because I knew there was only one space for the rook to go. And that space was b8. Then I found a really nice move of knight takes on e6 with check and discovery attack, and opens up a discovery attack on the rook. After pawn takes, we have queen takes on b8 there. Super cool tactic I thought I found. He decides to move his queen back here so he doesn't lose his knight with check, or I'm sorry, his bishop with check. I move my other rook over, plugging my last piece into the attack here, and then he decides to move his knight down. After this, I move my rook up, ready to make another battery here with these rooks. He pushes up his pawn because he doesn't want to lose it by my queen. I move my other rook over like I was planning on doing. He decided to move his rook back to h8. And now I wasn't so positive like what this move was doing, but that apparently was what he was thinking. I push my pawn up here because I want to actually take the defender off of the only defender actually defending this knight here. He moves his king up. I decide to take. He takes back, and now actually that might have not been the best move for me, because now his queen and his pawn are both protecting here. But I do have two rooks, so I am pretty strong. I decide to actually. I thought this was also another good move. I move my knight to g5 with check, and if something like knight takes on g5, he loses the queen. So lots of crazy things happening in this game here. So we can't take here. So basically, he's going to lose this knight in a way, or actually lose a pawn after he takes back. So he moves the king up. I take. He actually didn't take back apparently, which would have been a fine move. He would just been down another pawn. I decide to move my knight back since it's saved, and then he actually pushes the pawn up, making it basically stuck, and I can't move him. I make a blunder here. I think I was playing a really good game so far, and I make a blunder. I move my rook to e6. I was like, oh my gosh, it's perfect. If the queen takes, I just take the queen with the rook. It's over. It's checkmate. Oh, eventually it'll be checkmate, you know. But I forgot he had a bishop here. So he takes with the bishop. I'm like, oh no, oh no, oh no, what am I gonna do now? Oh gosh. So I just, you know, I'm just like, might as well. My queen's under attack here. I'll just take the rook. Okay, this is eventually maybe gonna come. I'm not sure. He decides to take my knight. Great move by him. I just take the bishop. Probably I probably shouldn't have done that because I have a queen and a rook, and he has a queen and a bishop. I'm probably better. I'm definitely better, but a lot of scary things could come here with, you know, pawn takes with check. It's a double check. He'll probably take. I'll take back. It's just lots of different things. So I just decide to take. He takes back, and then I take back here. This was a little bit worrying me here. But now he goes in with check. Another check, takes a pawn, and then takes another pawn. Now it's my turn to take a few pawns here. I go with check. Check him again. Check him again. Now here, if the king was only one square closer, I'd be able to capture his queen here. It would be a pretty simple game from there. But he moves away, and now I'm thinking to myself, okay, we both have two pawns on one side of the board, and I have this nice pass pawn here. Okay, you know, I'm like, you know what? His king was going to be so far away that I think I'll be able to hold this. So I take. He takes back, and instead of pushing h4. I decide to push my pawns on this side, and he grabs it. Now, I didn't realize this in the game, but if I just push this right here, there's no one stopping this. This king is too slow. No one's going to stop this pawn from becoming a queen. But I missed it. I missed that tactic. He decides to take. I push up again. Now it's sort of a draw. However, in this position, he blunders. He decides to push his pawns. He moved his king once, which is good, but he should have kept moving his king over. I think it was the only option he had because, you know, eventually something's going to be taken in one square or another. But he decides to push, allowing me to force him to make a decision after I move to c5 with my pawn. Because if he doesn't take here, I just go, and no one's stopping this pawn from becoming a queen. So it's forced. He's forced to take here. I take back, and this king is just so far away. I grab the pawn. He's almost there, but I move this really nice move to king to b7. And now he's probably gonna go after my pawn here, but I actually analyzed this in the game. He's gonna get close enough, but not close enough, basically. He moves his king away, and I basically make a queen, and in a series of moves later, I eventually get him with checkmate. This game was super interesting. I hope you guys did enjoy. This was one of my favorite games I've actually ever played on Lichess, and let me know what you guys think about the game. See if I missed any tactics or anything like that. I will take a look at Stockfish once again on this game because I won't forget this because this was a really fun game, and it was a 10-minute rapid game, casual, and it was in one of my tournaments I set up on Twitch. So if you'd like to see me on Twitch, go to twitch.tv/master24mark. You can join my Discord. Links are all in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day.